This video has been brought to you by Break. Go to the website and register. Check out what they have to offer at breakconnect.com.
Yo, what's up? This is Shadow Rockin' Pro for one of the Floor Gangs and Knuckleneck Tribe, and you're watching The Trades, Saturday Special Edition, Episode 16. And we got my man all the way from the Bronx, the BX, Breakbeat Lou. What's up? What's up? Yo, this is crazy, man. Like, just to make a long story short, I met Lou. I was actually in Colorado. Back in 2013, and you know he had a lecture out there, and he invited me and Rob to participate in the lecture. And I was like, whoa, but this is Breakbeat Lou from Ultimate Breaks and Beats. And he's like, nah, man, you got a history, so you got to talk about it. So after that, you know, we became friends, and he came out to San Francisco. I had a project that didn't pan out, but you know what? It was kind of like we kept in touch anyway. Now, like, I have my show. It's been about 3 months I've done the show live, and now it's like he's in town. I was like, you know what? Got to get an interview with him.
Let's go, brother. Like I said, we fam, man.
Yeah. So if you don't know about Breakbeat Lou, like I said, you know, he's the curator of what we know, for me, for the golden age of hip hop, of sampling, because of the Ultimate Breaks and Beats records. So Lou, because I have a lot of basically followers that are b-boys and b-girls out there, tell me a little bit about your history and like how you got started and what made you want to put the Ultimate Breaks and Beats together.
Well, as far as you know, like hip hop to me, you know, like I say, it's a culture. It's not a genre of music. So when you talk about hip hop, you know, you talk about, you know, to me, there are, you know, the main four essential elements. You know, there's the writer. I don't say graffiti because graffiti is a term that was used by the authorities. There was the writer, the b-boy, the DJ, then the MC. I started as a writer back in '72. I was tagging back in those days. I remember the first time I tagged up on the side of a car, which I didn't know any better. But anyway, 72. By 73, I started seeing, you know, the jams started coming out into the parks and stuff like that. So I started really gravitating. And when I was younger, I always loved dancing. So, you know, I used to dance salsa in my family's house. And so I was always like a little bit of a clown kind of, or an attention getter.
Right.
So I saw that this whole thing was developing, which it was already out there, not developing, it was already out there, which was the top rock stuff. So I was like, oh, what's this? So I started looking at the moves. So then by 73, I started really seeing what it was, especially in the park jams. So I picked up and I became a b-boy. I started, you know, doing the top rock, and then, you know, when we started going down, and, you know, I was blessed to be around, you know, guys like Batch from TVB, Jimmy Lee and Jimmy D. Jimmy Lee used to be right across the street from me. There was another crew called the Mexican Crew, which was like 3 blocks away. Which is
Mexican Crew, yeah, you talked about that.
Which is not really spoke about in a lot of conversations, but they were one of the first crews I knew. They used to battle a lot with TVB, and they used to battle a lot with our Rocksteady crew when they first started. Jimmy Lee used to go out with a girl named Bunny Lee that unfortunately got killed, and then there was a big rivalry between the two crews. But that's when I started, 73. I was a b-boy then. And then 74, I was still b-boying, and then that's when I started seeing what the power the DJ had. And then I slowly gravitated from being on the floor, on concrete, not really cardboard. Cardboard, I mean, that came afterwards to me, but it was concrete, and we did what we did. And I started getting more into the DJ aspect. So 74, I really picked up and grasped it, and then I started becoming a DJ. I joined a crew called the Paradise Crew, which I was what we call a bedroom DJ at that time. We were only, and then the only time I went to the park was to carry crates and help with the speakers. As far as DJing, I never touched the turntables, only in the bedroom. 74, that's when I started DJing. 78, I became a hardcore digger.
Yeah, 78. Like, was that existed? Did that kind of exist, like diggers back then? Like,
well, that's when it started. Well, the digging was already going on in 73, 74 with Bam and Herc and Flash. Those guys were already digging in those days. I caught the bug because I started DJing, and you know, the focus was who had the better beats, who had, you know, the better equipment. So it was more musical based, equipment based. It wasn't skill wasn't as much as it became after when Flash took apart and doing what he did. Because when Herc DJ, I don't know those that might have seen him DJ at the freestyle sessions. Oh yeah, you could see that he wasn't much of a he didn't keep much of continuity. They were just rocking records. Flash was the one that kept the continuity and the flow going of stuff. You know, that's when it was going. And then I really picked up on the bug in '78 when I bought my first B-boy / digger record, which was Space Funk by Manziel.
Oh, okay.
When it first came out in 1978, so I picked that up, and then the rest is history. I met Lenny in '79, '80. Then we created this thing called the Fusion Beats, which is Flash with the beat on one side, and the Flash with the side and Fusion Beats on the B side, which had the Champ, the Get Up and Get Involved, and Let a Man Be a Man and a Woman Be a Woman. That was back in the Blaze joint. Then that catalyst became the Octopus Breakbeats, and from '81 to '84, '84 was slowed down. '85 started getting a buzz again. '86 we did the Ultimate Breaks and Beats, and then the sampling craze started after that. Right. So what I can say, Lenny's no longer with it. What I got involved with Ultimate Breaks and Beats was to give the next generation of DJs the tools that we originally had from Foundation, not what they were using. Because back from '81 to like '84, what was being used a lot was rap records as breakbeats, Love Rap, Feel the Heartbeat, Catch the Beat. All those records, they were being used as breakbeats. So I was like, how is that going to happen when hip hop was before rap? Right. That's how it was for me.
Yeah, that's crazy because just to rewind a little bit back. So when after Flash, was everyone's skills improving on some ninja stuff? Like, did you guys try to go to the thing, or the skills? The techniques get spread.
I'm gonna get shot for this.
Here we go. You're here for the trades.
The way the get down breaks things down, it was a little less comical than that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no superhero. Right. Flash did what he did. Right. He developed what he developed. And create a technique that we know as cutting back and forth and keeping the beat, or we keep the beat. That's how that happened. Yeah, there was few DJs that were really able to gravitate to that consistency. Right. As far as the Herculoids, there was JC, which was dope. JC was the first DJ JC, and then the original DJ Clark Kent. That was with the Herculoids. They picked up on it. Then you had Flash on this side, Flash, and then Theodore that picked up on this side. And then as far as back I was saying, you had right back to the thing. We had JC and Clark Kent from the Herculoids. You had Flash and Theodore on this side. Then you had Africa Islam from BAM, and then you had Jazzy J, DST, and then Red Alert. Those that came out in that side. So when those crop of DJs, which was like mid-70s, 75, 74, 75, those were like the top of the line DJs that were picking up. Then you had Charlie Chase, Tony Tone, Breakout. There was a guy named Cisco, which from the Mexican crew people didn't know much about. You had Grandmaster Caz, which was a DJ before he was an MC, and then he did both. He was nasty at it. Then you had there was a guy named DJ Quick that was part of the TBB crew. Danny Dan, also from the people know as Beatman Danny Dan from TVB. Then you had other guys, smaller crews, but it was when Flash and Theodore, what they were doing, then people started saying that we could do better than just play records. Let's keep this flow of making us the instrument or the main focal point of a crew than what it became.
So I'm sure it changed the way people even approach the dance because the records are being played differently.
No, but the thing is this. I'll say this, and again, I'll make a shot for this. But if it wasn't for the B-boy, hip-hop would not have been what it was. Yeah. Because Herc got the idea of playing the beats over and over again because he saw the B-boys were getting down to the get-down part at that time. So they were like, the main, it became like, oh man, these guys are dancing to this. I'm going to keep it so these guys keep on dancing and create the circle, the cipher. That we used to call it a circle. You call it a cipher now. The circle, and that's what makes sometimes the party more lively. That these dancers will make these spectacular moves in that time, as simple as it might be now, but make all these moves and be as creative. And the girls loved this, so the guys did it most, and that's why it became the battle. So that became the catalyst to what we know now as hip hop. Yeah. Because Hurt concentrated on keeping those guys dancing, then Coke La Rock maintained about keeping Hurt popular with the crowd, or he's doing this and that, and then the rest is history as far as that.
That's crazy. Now, so you saw it from that, right? You saw it from about the late 70s.
I saw the beginning. That's what I seen. You know something? The way what Herb did was take it from the apartment into the community center.
Right.
But the guy something. Let's get this understanding again. I'm gonna get shot for this. DJing did not start with Herb.
Right.
DJing's been going around since the late 60s. Sound systems and all that stuff was being done much bigger scale in Brooklyn and Queens, not in the Bronx.
Okay.
That was being done over there. What I would say as far as the catalyst for what we know as hip-hop that was created in the Bronx was the MC and the breakbeat aspect of what we know as hip-hop. That was done in the Bronx for sure. Right. As far as DJing, that was going to work. So DJing in those days was being done on different scale. What I say hurt and brought it to the foreground and made it us a more of a cohesive thing. What we know now as hip hop is that he brought it into the center, and the dancers were there and connected with an MC. As far as bringing the culture together as a whole, Bambaataa did that in Bronx River, without a doubt. Yeah.
So when it started to become like maybe 80, 81, when Planet Rock came out, what, 82?
82, yeah.
82? Mm-hmm. So, like, the music obviously started to change. Did you see, like, the style of, I guess, in the dance was changing?
Oh, without doubt, yeah. And then the Electro Boogie came from the West Coast into the East Coast, which they was bringing it because of the pop, the lockers, and with Shabba Doo and Tony Bazoo and Freddie and all these guys. That style, we learned it from watching Soul Train. And watching shows that these guys were doing this on this side of the world. And then that incorporated the robot aspect into that thing, and then it just became a more cohesive thing. And then the electro sound was developed prior to that with Transfer Express, which where Catalyst became Planet Rock. Yeah. But the way I see that everything changed for me, and I give credit where credit is due, not that I'm making anybody God and everything, because from 74 down, hip-hop had its limelight, then Rappers Delight came 79, then it became extremely commercial. Then the companies became gravitated, so then it was losing its grassroots essence of it. What I want to say is, between 82 to like 84 or 83, things were like real suspect. Real suspect. And I say this with all sincerity in the world. Until Flashdance came out.
Yeah, with
Crazy Legs and everything, and Just Begun was playing in the B-boy scene. Then that gave a new life to what our culture hip hop is, because Hollywood had not exposed the rest of the world to this b-boy aspect, and the b-boy aspect goes to kind of with the music, and music comes to the DJ, and so on and so on. That was the catalyst of that. Then after that, then everything just changed. Sampling started, and then R&B Rakim came out, and then everything just catapult. B Street came out, and everything was just a big snowball effect. And now we still have, after 20 some odd years, we have hip hop.
Yeah, that's crazy. Now that's the thing too, because like what I was talking to, I forgot who I was talking to. It was either Wiggles or someone else. I think even the dance, when like around mid 80s to late 80s, when it started to become more sampled music, that the dance definitely changed. You had more of what they were doing over at the Latin Quarters, like all the social stuff, dances, because I guess because of the James Brown sound.
It's organic, Think about it. When you got electronic, you got so artificial, it doesn't really hit you. It doesn't really resonate. It doesn't give you... Think about it. Everything, if you go back to the foundation of something, you can relate and connect with it. When you got just sample stuff, or not sample, when you have artificial of anything, it's not going to have the substance. When the sampling came in, then you took it... Marley Marl, what I said is Marley Marl took it back to the park. He took it back to the park, and the dance started in the park. Really, so that when the sampling sound and that grittiness of of hip hop and resonating in your ear and say, oh man, this sound like I was back listening to Cold Crush, listening to Fantastic Five.
Right.
Then the dance has to come back, and then you get that new jolt of energy, the new jolt of inspiration, the new jolt of saying, damn, this is where we are. This is Star Wars. This is what we do. Yeah. Let's take it there, and that's how.
That's crazy because when I was talking to Wiggles, he was saying that same thing. Like, was Latin Quarters kind of that feel of what happened in the parks into a club instead of just like maybe when band was spinning on the grills or whatever like that. It was just like that essence of like just that. Yo, I'm feeling this and I'm going off and it's hitting my spirit and I'm, you know.
Yeah, because the thing about then you have, like Red Alert was already on Kiss at that time. He was coming on Kiss, so he's the one that it changed the sound of radio in the sense to me. Changed the sound of radio into more a rap style of hip hop radio. Even though we already had KTU in New York, that was Latin Rascals. These guys were playing hip hop music already. When it was more encompassed with regular dance music also. When Red Alert came into Latin Quarters, he brought a new essence to it, and then you had a new air to it, and you had a new sonic connection to what hip hop was.
Right.
And then you had Latin Quarters, and you had Union Square. All these places made it sound like, again, how it felt to be in the inception of this culture.
Right.
So
That's
it
crazy.
took it
See, that's connecting the shows from before.
Yeah.
Yo, give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, just in case like something cuts off. I need some questions. I need some reaction. Let me know if you can hear me while I go to the next question. And if you have any questions out there, hit us up in the comments right now when I get to the next question. So I hope this is recording. I hope this is like because no one's reacting.
Yeah, I don't see
sometimes this happens.
cut off.
Like,
no,
okay,
that's
cool.
all right.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
I was
All right,
I was
like, don't do this.
Yeah.
Because he just dropped mad gems.
Yeah.
So here's the thing that links it. Now you were saying earlier about, okay, like the electronic sound had a different, it doesn't feel as organic, so it doesn't hit the spirit so much. What do you think about the music right now, since it's like, we're talking, it's kind of going back to that.
My thing is this, and again, now I'm going to get killed for this. This is going to be the end of the show, I'm going to get killed for this. No, I see, everything, okay, now, like, I cannot be as judgmental as everybody else because we were being judged when we were doing what we were doing.
Right.
So it was a different tense, and a different era, different economical, and different everything at that time. So I'm not gonna diss it in the sense like everybody says, oh, music is whack now. No, there is good music. What happens now is that because a lot of OGs that are from my era are so judgmental against the new, so the kids try to be so different from what we were. Right. That's what we are with. Yeah. So the same fault that they have for not wanting to know is the same fault we have for not wanting to teach.
Right.
In the right way. Right. So now there is some. Do I like some of the stuff I hear? No, not at all. Because the mumble situation, there's no artistry to that. You know, all you do is talking and just leave the track by itself and let it rock out. Right. You still got some dope MCs out here, you know, from the J. Cole's, Kendrick Lamar, so on and so on. You still got those guys that are out there. You know, and on the sonic side, there is the production's coming back to that. If you heard like the last Swiss beat with Buster, it's coming back to a more of a you know, grittiness, heartfelt music is coming back into that sense. Does it need to change? Does there need to be more of a respect to the foundation? Yes, it does, because he has none. But I think that comes from both, you know, from all three eras, or fourth eras of hip hop that we are now, because this is the fourth generation that we're in. Right. We have to all come in a cohesive manner and say, okay, this is what we need to do.
Yeah. Have you seen when Lil Yachty was, he tried to like, you know, address everything, you know, he's like, why do you call it mumble rap? He tried to throw some bars in there and stuff like that. I give him props for effort for trying, you know what I mean?
Again, the problem is that because, you know what's the problem with music right now is that we settle for mediocrity. Yeah. There is no substance. Like right now, suppose you're in a cipher, right?
Yeah.
And you see somebody, a legitimate cipher, not a simple party that anybody goes in, a legitimate cipher, and you got somebody that comes in there and does what we used to call a butt move. Spit on his butt every night and call it a day and come in there and do that. You're gonna say, come on, son. We got guys doing elaborate, you know, gymnastical kind of moves, and you come with a butt spin and call it. That's a different story. But at the end of the day, you know, that's why he comes in here and tries to live and say, if I don't have to rhyme, all I can say is, and the beat's banging, then it's dope. No, it's not, my dude. Then don't call it hip hop. Call it something else.
Right.
Call it something else. Don't call it hip hop. And because there is, no matter how much it changes, because this is a part of with our culture, and this is the only thing pervasive across the board. It doesn't happen in rock. It doesn't happen in R&B. It doesn't happen in country. Back in the early '80s, we had the battle between, or 79 and 80, we had the battle between Como D and Busy B.
Right.
When Kumu D won, they were saying BCB was blah, 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 and all that. But we call them both legends now, right?
Yeah,
They're both legends. Mind you, okay. Then you had the 80s. You had Big Daddy Kane, KRS-One, Big Daddy KRS-One, and Rakim, right? And then you had Kid and Play, Salt and Pepper, and who was going to say? Kwame. Right now, they're all considered legends, all of them.
But
they would be this. You know what I'm saying? So, why, now we have, again, we could be very judgmental. We have the Kendricks, we have the J. Coles that have bars, and the Chance the Rapper. These guys, they do something. And then you got the Bootsy, or you got whatever. To me, this is in a comparison. These guys don't have bars.
Right.
They call it something different. They don't have bars. But what we have to maintain is that we cannot be so segregated and feel that this should be the way that things should be, because we said so. Not. It should be like this way because it should have similar qualities.
Right.
It may not be the same dopeness, but it has similar qualities. Now, if you don't have any of these qualities, then don't call yourself this.
Right.
That's the way I see it. If you can't put a nice 16, then don't call yourself rap. I'm sorry. Call it something whatever you want to call it.
Now that's related to the DJing factor, because right now, like last year, like the biggest thing in Forbes was like the new DJs, like all the EDM DJs and stuff like that, which uses the foundation of hip hop, like straight up. They're the mixing aspect, the whole cutting aspect. You know what I mean? The whole dropping it, reading the crowd, that was like the stuff that from your generation created. For it to be,
exactly.
So what do you think? So what do you think about the DJs?
The DJs isn't a. This is what I say. If you want to be a DJ, at the end of the day, if you want to put those two initials, DJ, this jockey, touch vinyl one time in your life. Touch. Let it be known to yourself what it is to have those limitations of a record being jump, and you don't know what to do after that. Record's going to finish. You don't have no loop factor at the end of the thing, or be as forgiving as you're able to do a party because you have a laptop and you have 2,000 files and don't know how to do a party with 200 records in your bag.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? How can you rock a party with 200? I know I can rock a party with a laptop the same way I can rock a party with a bag of 45s. Right. It's just the way that I do.
Yeah.
Now, the thing that asks this question is, how many DJs of this day and era will survive back in 1982?
There you go. All right. See, you're here, folks.
So if you put those two letters in your name, then you better. I urge you. I'm not saying better because who am I? But I urge you to know the foundation and be able to rock on turntables.
Right.
It's like Clark Kent said it best. If you're using a controller, the controller's controlling you.
Right.
Use turntables and a mixer so you know what it is. Ableton is dope. I can do 19,000 mixes on Ableton and let it rock what's up and pump my fist like this and hit the freaking low ends and high ends and make it like I'm doing all this type of work. I don't know why DJs now feel that you have to touch the knobs to make it effective. We didn't use no freaking knobs. We didn't use no dude. I just don't understand it. But anyway, that's me.
Nah. So okay, I don't know because there's a thing, and this is I don't know if you're catching up with the breaking scene, but right now the breaking scene is starting to get to kind of like this is why I asked you legs, but this is where it's going. But okay, this is what I'm saying. So it's starting to get to the big stage. It's starting to become more of a sport-ish thing, and that's the debate. A lot of the b-boys, a lot of the viewers out there are like, no, I can't get to there. Just like what you said earlier, I feel like it's a balance. Both could exist and all that
exactly.
Kind of stuff.
Why not?
So the main thing right now, what's going on, and this is going to a lot of the DJs out there, is that a lot of the they were b-boys, kind of like you, b-boys that become DJs, but they don't know how to DJ like a club, but just b-boy events. Yeah. And then because of YouTube and the copyright situation, they are forced to make music. Then they turn producer,
and that's dope.
But then it's but do they have what's it gonna take to but it doesn't sound. It's like my boy Kensky says it like this. He calls it BDM, breakdance music, right? It's almost going back to. It's almost going back to the electro thing. Yeah. What suggestion do you have for those b-boy DJ producers to give it an organic sound like a Premiere or like a Pete Rock.
And then you something that bothers me a lot.
Here we go.
Yeah, that's what bothers me a lot with the b-boy scene in itself. When we played for b-boys, we used the whole song. That we extended the beat for something. Yes, it was, and there is some fun, but there's many songs out there. Like I don't know why you know I don't see more battles. You listen, for instance, playing the Jackson Sisters. Letting people rock off the Jacksons by itself, or people rock off completely the whole "Give It Up and Turn It Loose" by the whole record. You know, for you, musicality to me means everything. I mean, the reason I love guys like you, because when you were doing the workshop, that was you would practice to do a whole record. There was no breaks by itself. You know, the way you do things, the way Why Not rocks it. When you could have somebody hit accent hits, freezes or whatever, along with the music, the whole music, not just breaks by themselves. I welcome that. When I see most battles, it seems like, and I'm not taking away from another DJ because most of the DJs I know, from Scheme to Lean, all these guys I know, they're forced to rock a lot of just break part only. Right. I understand that, but to me, if you're judging a battle, my personal opinion, especially for the finals or for any round, it should be song per song. Rock off that way. We never had a chance with no battles. The DJ had no coordination with the b-boys at all. Right. They set up their own cycles over here. DJs worrying about making sure the girls look at him and rock over here on this side, and they're keeping the MC happy. The b-boys did what they did, so they didn't have no control about the breaks or whatever. And 90% of the time, the breaks that were really rocking when they had long breaks were slow break beats. They weren't fast break beats. So my thing is this: go back to the essence of dancing to a song than just to the break part. And that's why when you're creating.
Okay, yeah, see, that's what...
Fusic, I like Fusic.
Okay.
Fusic create, Felix and the guys, they create... See, I know a little bit about something.
Yeah, there you go.
They create songs.
Right.
Even though, back in the days, the songs were very limited. They were more like 2 minutes long, so it's an intro, chorus, break, or whatever. It's very repetitive, but there's song structure within there. I think that's what should be continued to be done. Create music in a strong structure kind of way, not just break beats by themselves. Because you're gonna just have a drummer, just have a drummer on stage playing.
So you would say the same thing as like a hip hop song, like try to think like you're producing a hip hop song versus like
have structure. Structure. At the end of the day, this whole culture that we know and love started is about the music. Right. It's about what the music does to us. So you think about it. Why is it that we can still dance to Give It Up and Turn It Loose, to Just Begun, to the Mexican, to Miracle by the Jacksons? It's beautiful music, and I think that's where it belongs. The structure of music should be everything.
I'm gonna say it here first, since I'm with Breakbeat Lou. My thing is what I want to see, and I was talking to some guys about this. Is like produce a song, and then when you get hired for this break thing, you cut it up live.
Yeah.
You produce a song, then you cut up live to where you're specific, because then it's just, you're actually like, people could regularly buy the song if they just wanted to hear the song. Because right now it's all mixtapes. It's all like in like mixtape formats. Versus that it being like,
To me, it gets boring, and then what happens is, and then in some aspects it may seem like when they do something that the DJ is favoring one DJ, one dancer to another. That's what to me. If you're a DJ, to me, you should go song per song. If you're just cutting breaks and things, sometimes, the DJ is going off on his own, or looking, or if he knows a certain b-boy, and that's just me. I could be way off. It seems sometimes that a DJ knows a certain dancer, and he'll do a certain scratch, and hit the thing, and the guy that's on the floor already know what the pattern DJ is going to do, and hit the accent, know right up to the point. And it seems really unfair to me when b-boy battles should be battled to songs. Right. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. There you go. You heard it here first, Breakbeat Lou. Talking about the b-boy scene. See, this is why he's on my show, man. It's for y'all, dude.
Yeah, I love it, man. I wish I can attend or even do more b-boy things, because I know I've done a couple, and people would bug out. They're like, "Damn, it's never been done that way," because I've been doing it for that long. Not to put myself above anybody, but I've been doing it that long and cutting up when the b-boy scene was bubbling up.
Yeah, no, what's crazy is when I first met him in Colorado, I was asking him, so what was this, how did Bam spin, and how did Flash spin, and like, he was showing me, this is what, pro, check this out, this is exactly what Bam did. I was like, whoa, I was blown away. And to me, like, you know, you can't get that anywhere else. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that, who can break it down like that? And I'm trying to get him out here. Like, if I got the budget, I'm trying.
No, like, if I'm here and anything has to be done, you know, I live for the culture the way I've always have. And you know, unlike what people might have heard, you know, because there's hater in every aspect. Right. People think I charge enormous amounts of money. Depending on the function, what it is, if there's a major sponsor, then I'm going to get my regular fee. But if it's just a closed situation, man, just get me there, a clean place that I can lay my head on, and feed me, man. And that's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that I do everything for cheap, but I'm just saying that's just, I do live for my culture because, you know, people always ask me, you know, what is it that, you know, how did I become hip-hop? I didn't become hip-hop. I was part of culture before the culture had a name. So, you know, in all of us, if you're really in this culture, you can really understand that you just didn't do it because you wanted to, you know, feel part of the crew. Something that made you do what you want to do. You don't do your moves because it's something that you feel is, I want to be part of this crew. No, you felt you were driven to create the moves that you create, and then you do this workshop because you are a creator of what you do, and that's the same thing I do. I mean, you know, and again, if I don't mind lending my blessing to be part of hip hop just for, you know, for the cause of it, I have no problems doing that. I mean, do I make a living out of this? Yes, this is my living, and like anything else, labor is worth its wages. But not that I wouldn't do anything for a culture that I love and care about. There's nothing that I wouldn't do anything for my culture.
Right.
You know?
All right, you heard it here first, folks. So that was 30 minutes, basically. That was 30 minutes. So check this out before we sign out. Check this out tonight at 111 Minna. If you're in the San Francisco area, tonight at 111 Minna, Breakbeat Lou will be spinning it back to the 2000s and 90s, I believe it's
90s versus 2000s, yes.
90s versus 2000s. And if you want to see him live and see him rock, you know what I mean? Are you gonna be throwing just 2090s? Was
I don't know. That's the theme. If I get driven to something else, you may hear house, you may hear b-boy stuff, you may hear something. I'm just gonna play music.
There you go. See, So if my b-boys out there are watching, and you want to come through, and he sees us, you know, he sees a circle.
Check this out. If I throw on freaking Arabian Rakim, follow the lead or something, and it's jumping in that much, and then it goes to let the rhythm hit him. You know there's gonna be some b-boy stuff after that because it's just gonna lead, or the creator. Trust me, it's gonna happen. Right, you know, if the cipher develops, I always give my cipher something to dance to for a little bit. So it is what it is.
Yeah. So for all my promoters out there too, I know some of you all tuning in. You heard what he said. You know, he's available.
Hit me.
He's available,
and I'm reasonable. I'm not. I won't let myself be taken advantage of, but if I see something that's worthwhile, I most definitely lend services to the best that I can do. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I like to rock.
There you go. So, where can they reach you? What's your social media platforms?
Breakbeat Lou across the board. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Same thing, anyway. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to hit me a DM, and you know, we can work it out. Trust me, I'll do my best to do so.
There you go. All right. You can reach me at www.facebook.com/Profo1, capital FLGZ, or on Instagram at PROFO_FLGZ. This has been The Trades, episode 16, Saturday special edition with Breakbeat Lou. Please like, share, and subscribe. Peace!
Yes, sir. Peace.
And we out of here.